Hi, welcome to another video. Today we're going to show you how to install 2-inch blinds. There's different ways you can mount them, and when you get the directions, you can look at the directions. It'll tell you whether you're going to mount it inside the window frame or outside the window frame, or if you're going to mount it straight up or through the sides. In this particular case, we're going to mount it to the side so that the blinds are going to fit into it and they're going to lock down and it's going to hold it in place. You can read this in the directions. Sometimes they can be a little bit confusing, but I'm going to show you how to do it. Like I said, on this one here, it's going to be on the inside mount. Now, when you're mounting blinds, let me just show you what kind of tools you're going to need first. This is an example of what you're going to need. You're going to need a pen or a pencil so you can mark where you're going to pre-drill your holes. You're going to need either a screwdriver or a bit for your drill to screw in the Phillips head screws that come with it. These are the brackets, and if you look very closely on the brackets on this part in here, one is marked right and one is marked left. Basically, you just want to have it so that this opens up on the outside like this, and it'll mount. You slide your blinds in through here and you lock it back down onto that little tab right there. So we know that this is the right side, and we know that this one obviously is the left side. What we're going to do is, with this particular kit, they give you 4 screws to mount this. Now you see this, there's actually 4 holes on the left side and 4 holes on the right side. They give you 2 screws to mount it, so you don't need to have all 4 screws in here. What I always do is I always mount the screw on the bottom here, like this, and the other one up on the top like that. And the reason for that is because this is going to lock down, and now when you pull this back off, this is going to hold nice and steady, and it's not going to move at all. So that's why I put the 2 of them in here. But you can do them up here if you choose to, whatever you want to do. Now, like I said, we are going to pre-drill the holes, because if you try to screw these screws in up into the window frame itself, you're trying to drill it into wood. So we're going to pre-drill the holes inside the window with a very small drill bit. You want to make sure your drill bit is smaller than the screw that you're putting in. In this particular case, it is a little bit smaller. So now when we screw it in, it'll screw in a lot easier. So what we're going to do now, this is the 2-inch blinds I was telling you about. And this is how they'll mount up on the window, obviously. And the cleat's going to be on the side right here. Now once it's up, this piece is going to be on here just like this. And then this is going to close down, and that's what's going to hold it in place. So we're going to mount the left side and the right side. If you are mounting blinds that are actually over a certain length, I'm thinking of this particular one is at 38 inches. If it's over 38 inches, you need to have a center support. But as you can see, this one is not over 38 inches, so we're just going to mount right side and left side. All right? So let's go up on the top there. And let me just tell you this. The blinds themselves come with additional hardware. If you choose to wrap your cord around it, you can mount your cord wherever you choose to. It also comes with 2 little pieces like this that you could mount on the windowsill, so that the bottom of the blinds itself will snap into it. We are not going to use these today, so these are going to become optional. And along with that, we have the 5 screws that actually hold this in, to hold these pieces in here, and we're not going to use these either. But if you were, those 5 screws would be used to hold these in place. So we're going to put this off to the side for now. These pieces here are what's used to hold the valance onto here once we're ready to mount it on. But we'll come back to this shortly. For now, let's go up. We're going to measure where we're going to put these, and we're going to attach it. Now I know from measuring how I want the blinds to lay here, I want the blinds to not be all the way in the back against the window like that. I want the blinds to be forward a little bit, so that way the end of the blinds here will be even with the window frame itself. But you can mount it back further if that's the way you choose. If you want the blinds, instead of coming down straight right here, you want them back a little further, you could do that as well. In this case, I'm going to mount them up to the front like this so that the blinds are even with the edge of the window itself. Now when the window is installed, you'll have always in here, you'll have sheetrock in here, and behind that sheetrock, you're gonna have 2x4s in there. And that's what's gonna hold the blinds up in here without them falling back down, because you actually have the screws which are screwing into the ply or the stud behind this bracket and behind the plywood. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna screw through here, through the sheetrock, and into the stud behind. Remember, in a window frame, you usually have two 2x4s together that are framing out the window itself. So you really have about 3 inches of studs in the wall right here that you're going to screw into. So we're going to put this in, and we're going to mark it first, and then we're going to pre-drill it. We want it to be even with the end of the window right here, so we're just going to take it like that. We're going to mark it right there. All right, and now we're going to drill those 2 out first. Okay, now we're going to pre-drill the holes where we marked them here and here. Now when you're drilling in here, you want to put your drill on that little mark first. And then you're going to go nice and straight, and you're going to let the drill. Now you can see it goes through the sheetrock fairly easy, and then when it hits the stud, it's a little bit harder. So we're going to hold one hand here so we don't slip and damage the window frame, and then we're going to drill. And we're going to keep this hand on here to keep the drill from damaging the frame. And now we're going to drill that second hole right up here. But as you can see, you don't want to damage the top of the window opening itself. So this one we're going to go at a very, very slight angle so we don't damage the window frame itself. All right, now we have them pre-drilled. Now remember, we said they're going to be left and right side. If you look right in the corner, right here, there's an R on this one, so you know this is the right side. And this one is going to be our left side, which is going to go up just like this. So we're going to put the screws in here. And we're just going to catch them very lightly. We're not going to screw it in tight yet. We're just going to catch both screws first. Now, you see how I'm putting the screws in this way here? You can, if you choose to, put screws in through the top instead of through here. And then you would just screw it up this way, up into the top of the window frame. But I chose to do it this way. I'm going to use a drill because it's a little bit easier to get it in. And this particular drill, you back it off and you put this in here like this. You hold the outside, and then you have the drill turned in a clockwise position, and it tightens up. And now we're going to screw these in, and we're not going to over tighten them because we don't want to strip it out. You're going to lean into the drill. Okay, and that one is now tight. So we're just going to leave that open now. And you can see how it lines up with the end right here so that the blinds will be flush with the outside part of the window. So we're going to open that up now. You just push up and you pull it out like that. And now we're going to do the exact same thing on this side here. Okay, and remember, we're going to put this up like this. We're going to make sure that the end is even with the window itself. And now we're going to mark it again. Now we'll grab our drill and we're going to pre-drill those holes. Okay, so now the holes are pre-drilled. We're going to take our bracket, we're going to put our bracket in, we're going to catch both screws first before we do anything as far as tightening them up. Okay, so now we have them both caught. We can tighten it up with our drill. And if you don't have a drill, you can do it with a screwdriver as well. Okay, then we're just going to open this up right here, push up, and you pull this out. And that'll accommodate the blinds going in. Now, if this was a very long window, you need to put a support bar in the center here. And on this particular one, it says over 38 inches, you need a support bar. But this is not over 38 inches, but if you did, you would actually screw it up into the top here to support the center span. All right, so let's grab our blinds and we'll put them in there. Okay, now our blinds will go in here just like that. But before we put the blinds in, we're going to take our clips that actually hold the valance over the top, and we're going to clip them on like this over the top this way. And the same thing, this one here, it just pushes on over the top like that as well. Then we'll take the blinds, put it up in here like this, put the second one in this side here, just like that. And then we'll just push this down until it snaps in place. And then we'll push this one down until it snaps in place. And that's it. The blinds are now in. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to attach that valance if you choose to put it on. This valance is actually optional. If you choose to put it on, at this point you would push it over the top right there. And it has grooves in the back right here that would go over the top, and you push it and it snaps in place. As you can see, there's two different grooves. You could have it up mounted higher or lower, depending on how you prefer it to be mounted. Okay, now sometimes working on this, you're really working blind, so you have to go by feel. But I know I'm going to put it into the bottom groove right here, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to put it over there and there. And that's it. You center it in the window like that. And that's it. You're all set. Now we're going to reconnect our wand over here that actually controls the blinds. And the way that you get this in there is you see it's like a hook on the end of it. You would just lift it up, hook it through, and come back down. Okay, now we'll just take this off here. Okay. And now we'll just take our blinds. Okay, that's it. They're all set. Now, if if you were gonna put the cord attachment on, at this time you would actually want to put it in wherever you chose to have the cord. You could put it, that's personal preference. These two pieces here are actually go on the bottom down over here. They would mount in here on the windowsill itself, and they would snap into the bottom right here. But we are not going to put these on. Those are the optional pieces, and that's it. So when you're all done, that's what it should look like, fairly centered in the window. Your valance on, and that's it. You're all done. And here's my helpers right here. Looks like they had a pretty rough day. Looks like the big one has had a harder day than the little one. But all right, on to the next one. And thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you on the next one.